I have a confession. Okay, so a few weeks ago, well, more like 2 months at this point, I read a manga. And I'm barely getting into anime, right? And I specifically saw this manga on Instagram. Of course, it was on Instagram. Why wouldn't it be? It will make more sense later. So, what was the manga called? Metamorphosis. Yeah. Okay. So this is just basically going to be a Metamorphosis manga review. I'm not going to be showing anything because one, I have zero editing skills, and two, I have zero editing skills. So let's begin with the very first chapter where we see a middle schooler. Yeah, that's right. This starts with a middle schooler because why wouldn't it? Okay, so we get introduced to the main character, who I just completely forgot because I'm just stupid like that. Besides, I have my mind occupied with other stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, so we started off. She's a nerd, all right? She wants to be popular. She goes to her mom at the end of the year, like, hey, I want a new makeover. She gets contacts, a different hairstyle, probably something else that I don't remember. And you can very clearly see that her dad's starting to get a bit freaky. And yes, you heard me right. Her dad. So, we're already not off to a very good start. Okay, so she goes to school the next year. She's becoming popular. And then she meets this dude. Alright. She meets a dude. And then they go to like this. I forgot again because it has been a hot minute since I read it, and I'm pushing it to the back of the furthest reaches of my mind. But so they go to eat somewhere on the date, and then he pulls out like a pill. I don't even remember what it's called, and I'm probably not even going to try to say it. So yeah, he pulls it out. He gives it to her like, "Oh, take this." Everyone's just taking it nowadays because it does something better or something. I forgot. So she takes it. She gets high because obviously you get high off a random pill, a random dude gives you. But yeah, so she takes it. She's like, "Whoa, I'm starting to feel weird, man." And then stuff happens. And what kind of stuff? It's the stuff that your mom and dad accidentally did, that accidentally created you because they did not decide to use protection. Anyways. So yeah, after that, the chapter ends. It's you can already tell that this is going somewhere, and it's not going to be in a good direction. So yeah, after that the chapter ends, and then chapter 2 starts with, guess what, with her and her new supposed boyfriend, who definitely loves her totally. They're doing the fun stuff on the bed. We don't talk about the coinkading. Anyways, they're doing the fun stuff. She's like, yeah, I'll do anything. And then I think it's in this chapter that she realizes, oh, she's broke. She needs the moolah. She needs that dinero, that green cash, green cash. So she gets a job, and what do you expect from what I said about the first chapter? The job is a prostitution. Okay, so then she meets up with this old dude. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're really innocent, and I'm just not gonna." And that's why I'm doing this. So she does the thing. She enjoys it way too much. And then I'm pretty sure that's how the chapter ends. And then chapter 3, it gets even more goofy and stupid, honestly. Okay, and I'm pretty sure it's the beginning of chapter 3. her dad starts becoming a freak in chapter 3 because he lost his job. And, you know, he's going through a hard time. He reeks of sake in this chapter. So, yeah, he does the fun bed stuff with his daughter. We won't talk about that, alright? So, after that, it happens a few more times. We're being all sneaky about it around her mom. And then, she started getting bullied at school again. So the reason why she's getting bullied is because one of the girls saw her walk out of a hotel with a man, and they're like, and the girl goes to the popular girls like, oh yeah, she thinks that not because she looks different and cute that she can just do all this stuff now. And it's like, no, she literally just needs money. And so they scribble some not very tasteful things on her desk. She runs away crying. They laugh, ha ha ha. And then obviously because of this, it's this manga. Look, if you want to read Metamorphosis, do it in your own time alone. This is not the kind of stuff you read in front of the family. But yeah, so she goes, her mom finds out because she was being a bit too loud while doing one of the fun haha things. So yeah, she gets kicked out, called all the typical names. She goes to the man that got her addicted to, certain items. But the next chapter, she's dropped out of school and she's trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm an adult now. I don't need all this stuff from these children. And so she's acting more mature than what she appears. And it's in this chapter that we learn that her boyfriend is, who could you guess, not the greatest student, and is in fact, like, 2-something million in yen to this random dude at a bar. And at this dude at the bar, they give the girl some of that good midnight substance, dude. Basically what you would call a female hero protagonist. It sounds exactly like that, but it's not that. But yeah, anyway, so she takes it, what a pharmacist should probably do, but it's not being administered by a pharmacist. So yeah, she takes it, and then it just goes to the fun stuff over a bar counter, I must say. And she's enjoying it, like, way too much, alright? Like, they make some comments on it, so that was great. Then after that, she gets piercings, where you would give someone a purple and purple, and then one just right below the parts that they use to do the fun stuff. And then next chapter, she turned black in the next chapter. Like, how does that even happen? I'm sure there was probably like a long time frame or something, but she just black, blonde hair, tattoos all over. And yeah, she now works as a woman of the night in Japan, which is a fire W. Yeah, she works as a woman of the night. She's still in love with her boyfriend while working as a woman of the night. So, I don't know how that works. Can someone please explain that to me? Because I think I'm not understanding here. But anyways. So, after that, she's doing all this. She's getting that moolah. And it's basically just showing that, like, oh yeah, she's a full-on woman of the night now. I think she's pregnant in like chapter 5, but she gets an abortion because she wants her boyfriend's baby, not some random dude that she was with. So she got an abortion. She starts feeling guilty about it, and then she goes to the dude like, hey, I didn't collect all the money, can I get in advance? And the dude that her boyfriend owes money to He's like, all right, I'll give you two options. You can either get the money, or you could get that Pablo Escobar. Uh, so she takes the Pablo Escobar after doing the fun things. Because I think right before this, she actually did get robbed, which not good. But yeah, and then she goes home, and her boyfriend's like, "Where's the money?" And so he looks in her wallet, sees the Pablo Escobar. He's like, get out, you. Anyways, so she gets kicked out. She's on her own. And she takes some of the Pablo Escobar on a playground slide. And then two homeless men come into frame. And you could probably fill in what they're going to do, alright? One of them used to be an actor, apparently, so now she has the possibility for the special diseases that you get if you just keep doing it with random people without protection. And so, yeah, that happened. She gets taken to a homeless shelter because she's like blissed out of her mind or something. She finds out she's pregnant again. And she decides to keep the baby this time, but since she has no home, she's been saving up money in the last chapter, actually, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Like, dog, I'm trying to bring this back from the furthest corners of my mind. Of course, I'm not going to remember everything. But she's saving up money. She almost has enough. But then, of course, because it's society, and believe it or not, this manga breaks the Japanese stereotype that the Japanese people are pretty nice. No, they are not, especially during World War II, to the Koreans, Chinese, basically anyone that was Asian on the East. If you want to find out some atrocities that Japan did, just look up Nanking World War II. You'll see what they did. But yeah, so some high schoolers walk into frame, like 4 of them or something, and they just start wailing on her, alright? They start beating her because she's apparently a worthless scum to society and people don't need her. And then she's like, no, stop, you're gonna hurt the baby. And they're like, good, we don't need more people like you in this world. And yeah, that happened. And she gets aroused by this, I should probably add. So yeah, that's a no bueno. And yeah, she gets all her money robbed. She only has the Pablo S. I don't know, but I think she goes back to the dude, gets some more Pablo Escobar before it, maybe, because she's experiencing withdrawals, as one does. But yeah, after she gets beat, she goes into a public bathroom, locks herself in there. She's crying. She falls to the floor. No clothes on, alright? The high schoolers destroyed her clothes because high schoolers in Japan, I guess, are just not good people. They might have been delinquents, I don't know. But yeah, after that happens, she's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not even sure if the baby will arrive. So she decides to take the rest of the Pablo Escobar. And then we see a little flash forward, I guess. And it shows that she's back to normal in her original skin and hair color. Still no glasses. She probably still got contacts because, let's be honest, they're more inconvenient. And that's saying something from the guy who's only wearing glasses. I know they're not on right now. We don't talk about that. But yeah, she's like, and then the flashback, the girl's like, Mommy, what are you thinking about? She's like, oh, nothing. I'm just thinking about the past and how I hated myself. And it's like, oh, Mommy, don't think about that. You have me now. And then it cuts to only a shot of her broken glasses that have fallen, signifying that she might have took too much of the Pablo Escobar. And that's, I think, supposed to be the canon ending, but there is a bonus chapter where it takes JoJo characters, believe it or not, if you've seen this manga before or not. So it takes the JoJo characters, they see her broken bruise, like, oh my gosh, look, she does not look good. She just leave her alone. And I haven't seen or read JoJo's at all yet, but it's the one dude with Steel Platinum, I think. I don't really remember. Shame me if you want. But he uses Steel Platinum, and he basically heals her and her child. And so now she's able to have her child now, which honestly, massive W. And then the manga ends on a happy note with that same flash forward from the previous chapter. And yeah, she has a happy life now. And in all honesty, it got weird. I would say on the sauciness rating of the manga is definitely like a 10 out of 10. Like it just messed up, all right, with what's happened to her, with what she's willing to do. Yeah, it's very messed up. Me personally, I believe that the JoJo's ending is the canon ending, but everyone has their own opinions, especially in this country that I'm living in. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate the manga maybe like a 6, maybe. It's just not to my forte. You know, everyone has their own choices. But yeah, that was my idiotic recap on the manga Metamorphosis, and it's definitely an 18 plus manga. All right, don't have your children read this. That would be very bad if they read this at such a young age. So yeah, read this at your own will. I'm not gonna recommend it that you read it. I would say just stick with other stuff. Stick with Solo Leveling. Stick with Dandadan. You know, stick with the normal animes. All right. I know it's May by the time of making and posting this, but go watch Your Lie in April. Peak anime, by the way. All right, it got me into classical music. All right, like how does a Japanese anime get a Mexican who's been to so many loud parties into classical